May is the most stacked month of game releases this year so far, from new IPs, follow-ups to old favorites, and one of the most anticipated games this generation. May has something for everyone. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the top 10 upcoming games in May. Number 10, Shadow of the Beast. Shadow of the Beast is a remake of the popular game released over 2 decades ago on various platforms. Now it comes to the PlayStation 4, built ground up for the console. The game follows the premise of the original game, but obvious enhancements have been made to the visuals, gameplay, etc. The original composer David Whittaker is also doing the soundtrack for the PlayStation 4 version, so for those of you that played the original game, expect a hint of nostalgia from Shadow of the Beast when it releases on May 17th. Number 9, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutants in Manhattan. Platinum Games have created some of the best action games of the last several years. From Bayonetta to Metal Gear Rising to Vanquish. Sure, not all of their games are quality, look at Legend of Korra, but they do have a pretty good batting average. Their latest game is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutants in Manhattan, a hack and slasher with a cel-shaded art style. The Turtles have been relatively sparse in terms of game releases over the last decade, so it's nice to see a new game from a highly respected developer. Hopefully it delivers when it releases on May 24th. Number 8, Total War Warhammer. Warhammer is the latest Total War game. Once again being developed by the Creative Assembly, Warhammer will feature the gameplay the series has been known for, but it will also include factions from the Warhammer series. Obviously, unlike previous games, it will not feature a historical setting, rather a fantasy setting with characters from the Warhammer universe. And with that fantasy setting, magic will also be introduced. Total War is a series that has been rather inconsistent over the last few years. Hopefully it can get back on track when Warhammer releases on May 24th. Number 7, Battleborn. Battleborn is the latest game from Gearbox Software, who are best known for the Borderlands games. While Battleborn is also a shooter, it's of a different kind. The game is an online FPS with MOBA elements. There are various characters, each with different abilities and weapons. The game has a leveling system which resets when a match begins, so you can tell that there are heavy MOBA influences in Battleborn. This is a game that has gone seriously under the radar. If you're looking for a new online FPS, keep this game in mind. It's made by a talented studio, and it might end up surprising us when it releases on May 3rd.
A painful story. Look, just don't make fun of her bow. I'm speaking from experience. Oscar Mike, a UPR clone.
Number 6, Homefront: The Revolution. Homefront was one of the most interesting games of last generation. The game told the story of a resistance movement fighting against the military occupation of the Western United States by a unified Korea. The premise was so interesting and the presentation was so different than all of the other shooters that were on the market at the time. Unfortunately, the campaign was super short. An average player could finish it in under 4 hours, and the multiplayer wasn't anything to write home about. Now we have the sequel, Homefront: The Revolution, this time taking place in an open world setting, so I don't think a lack of content will be an issue. Hopefully the game fixes the problems that were in the original and is a more complete game. Homefront: The Revolution releases on May 17th. Number 5, Valkyria Chronicles Remastered. Valkyria Chronicles was an excellent JRPG originally released on the PlayStation 3. It received high critical acclaim, and the people that did play it absolutely adored it. Unfortunately, the sales were pretty poor, but the game did receive a second win with a PC release. And now a remastered edition is coming to the PlayStation 4, now featuring updated visuals, a better frame rate, both English and Japanese audio, as well as all of the DLC. If you never played Valkyria Chronicles and you're even remotely into JRPGs or strategy RPGs, I highly recommend the game. It releases on May 17th. Number 4, Overwatch. Blizzard is coming out with their latest game in Overwatch. The game focuses on squad-based combat with 2 teams of 6 players each. Each player chooses one of several heroes, each with their own role in the team, from offensive to defensive heroes, supporters to tanks. Each player has a distinct role to fill. Unlike typical Blizzard games, Overwatch will see a day-and-day release on consoles alongside the PC version on May 24th. Torbjorn, ready to work! Number 3, Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Mirror's Edge is one of the cult classics from last generation. It's a game that clearly has issues, but it's so unique and it has a certain quirk to it that it has made fans clamor for a follow-up. And in May, that's exactly what we're getting with Mirror's Edge Catalyst. The game isn't a direct sequel to the original game, rather it's an origin story that follows Faith's past set in the City of Glass. Unlike the first game, Catalyst features an open world setting allowing much more exploration. Gunplay is being dropped entirely, and that's a great thing because that was one of the weaker aspects of the original title. Mirror's Edge Catalyst is shaping up to be a hell of a game. It releases on May 24th.
Supposed to happen.
Number 2, Doom. Doom has been in the works for a very long time. The game was initially announced back in 2008 as Doom 4, but things went wrong and development went all the way back to the drawing board. After the long wait, the time has come for the new game to finally be released, titled just Doom. The game graphically looks outstanding and the gameplay seems very fast. First-person shooters aren't typically known for having long campaigns, but id Software has stated that Doom's campaign will be over 13 hours long, which is very good in this day and age. Doom releases on May 13th. And finally, number 1, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Was there really any doubt? Uncharted 4 is the culmination of a decades-long work from Naughty Dog. They are closing the book on the story of Nathan Drake. Uncharted 4 takes place several years after the events of Uncharted 3. Nate attempts to settle into a normal life, but obviously it doesn't take long until he's dragged back into the world of fortune hunting. His brother Sam, long believed dead, reappears seeking Drake's help, and together they embark on a global journey in pursuit of a long-lost pirate colony and its treasure. Uncharted is a series that has arguably set the bar for video games in terms of quality and consistency, and now we have the first game built ground up for the PlayStation 4. We already know the game will be good, it's just a question of how good will it be. That question will be answered when the game releases on May 10th.
Morning, boys.
Up there, in that tower.
No, crap! Oh, that kind of hurt.
So that wraps up our countdown of the top 10 upcoming games in May. What do you think? What games are you the most excited for? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching and goodbye.